Welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We are broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena, and welcome to the Esports Tower Valorant Rumble. Tonight we have a best of 3 show match between the Barracudas and the Hawks, who will come out on top. I'm your host, Brandon Cozy-Yanskin. Joining me to call the action today is Greg Old Soul Smith. And Greg, this is kind of a show match best of 3, which is the first time it's best of 3 here. But I will say these show matches have gotten a little better over time here. What do you think that these players are doing during the show matches as they would compared to a normal game?
Yeah, the show matches are sometimes a little bit funky, and I think that is one of the big differences, is it being like a best of 1 versus a best of 3. So, yeah, just to answer your question, it's more important now that you pay attention during the first show match or the second one. And even if things aren't going well, it's still just like fighting up the hill instead of like dropping it into a meme. So it's important to pay attention now and actually accommodate to the playstyle.
Yeah, I think it's one of those times where sometimes these players are just not as experienced as others in competitive play. So I think it's nice to be in a, like, I guess, lower stakes setting, but it's more of a thing of like, hey, let's show them what I got, right? Let's show, hey, I'm actually a pretty good player. Let's show them in the show match, and then maybe that kind of translates something else or helps you get over nerves and matches and stuff like that. And so with the kind of the storyline here, we have the Summer Invitational over time to see kind of our back to our traditional Rumbles, and of course it is 2 best of 3 show matches. So we see the Wolves, Mammoths, and Barracudas, kind of a rotating things. And of course this kind of leads into our Docs Keys of the Game today, which is presented today by Esports Tower. Scrub Pro device at esportstower.com. And in Valorant, you want to flank efficiently, spend and peek wisely, count those cards and call those abilities, and click those heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And that's brought to you by Esports Tower. And of course, after kind of talking about it, the first game of the night is going to be the Barracudas versus the Hawks game 1. And it's going to be Breeze. We hopefully have seen a lot more Breeze, especially in this show match here. So, hopefully we kind of see these different agent picks, you know, with the Jet that we've been seeing. We've seen a lot of good Jets lately, or like these Vipers that we've been seeing. Any kind of agents that you want to see, or at least more utilized utility that you want to see?
I kind of want to see something strange. You talked about show match being a place to try something new, to really show off what they can do. So I really want to see those comfort picks out and see something interesting, you know? Get really the show match feel. And I think that they chose Breeze for that, just because they're so comfortable on Breeze to begin with.
I think it was Haven, actually. I think Haven's the actual map that we're, I guess, informed of now. But that makes it even more interesting because I think Breeze kind of usually has its agents kind of already in stone. Haven is a map we've seen a lot of different comps on. We've seen a lot of different initiators being used, a.k.a. we've seen KO, we've seen Breach, we've seen Sky, we've seen literally all of it. And so I think a lot of that kind of shows on Haven, and especially the duelist potential as well. But if you scan that QR code on your screen right now, you can check out the amazing offer from Vitamin Shop, and it has everything a gamer could need. And you can, of course, if you scan the QR code, you can check all their latest products.
Yeah, Haven has that same like comfortability aspect as Breeze, maybe even more so. It's been around for a long time, and people have been around for all the updates, and like you're saying, it's a little bit more open, a little bit more dynamic on where the meta is really sitting. And, of course, the meta loosens so much more when you're in this show match setting.
Yeah, so, and I think it's one of those things also, though. It's a map that allows so much to be able to flex.
Ooh, I was just going to say, so I'd love to see a Cypher. I'd love to see an Omen.
And this is Harbor that we're seeing for the first time well for both teams.
Not exactly the first time. You missed it last week. We got our first Harbor play out. It was an interesting one. But let's see. Yeah, this is
this goes here.
Not exactly the Barracudas we're used to seeing completely, so definitely show match vibes. It's going to be a push onto A, both long and short. Little pinch here. Diablo-sama. Good setup. Why ever peek when you can have the camera do it for you there? Coming on fast. Oh, good angle. Tries to play off that contact to kind of peek out a little bit. He goes down. That's 2 kills the attacking side. Good retreat by the Wolves to set up for a post-plant situation here. They're going to have to force in a second.
A lot of Harbor utility down right now. Getting a lot of, side kind of clear. And Harbor, I would think, is actually kind of one of those controllers in Haven where it's kind of nice to use because he has a lot of that flexibility here.
Last player standing.
Looking for kills. Unfortunately, Barracudas end up with 4. That's a great kind of attack there. I really enjoyed the C's into the Sova dart there. Prestige ended up hitting the C's onto Cypher into that A short. And then in terms of the dart coming in at the same time, so it's like he kind of really couldn't shoot one and couldn't pick one. So I like utility that's kind of layered like that. And also being able to use the double initiator, but not just the double initiator, but like the recon and the haunt, which I'm a big fan of. But the biggest thing is going to be the Wolves not having that like true initiator. It's going to be pretty hard to kind of work with, and they're going with that double controller with that Omen and the Harbor.
Going to see a typical force up from the Barracudas. Hopefully, all these guns will last for 2 rounds, so they can take this one. Oh, a quick end to E. Defense is going to be able to bonus up a little bit of that weapon, but they're going down pretty quick. It's down to Matrix now. Has a good angle, but they spot him too quickly. Moonkeeper takes him down. More of that Harbor utility making it difficult for the Chamber to really advance, so Prestige finds another one, and now Diablo-sama.
Ooh, another great seize.
It's just been pretty solid utility usage here.
Yeah, I mean, hitting those seizes every time. I mean, we've seen, I guess, in the past, one thing that I think people kind of get into the habit of is just throwing out utility whenever it just seems like it's convenient.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the difference you can kind of tell within players who really value their utility or are really good at using them in situations is when they actually get full value out of that. Like Prestige is, for example, both rounds that have happened, he has hit the seize twice, and that is a big piece of utility to use.
Right, and not just using the utility as like a backup.
Yeah.
And, oh, I can't use my gun. What kind of utility do I have? No, recognizing that your gun is just one of your 5 utility.
Absolutely. Sort of 2-0 Barracudas here. And now they're going to have that bonus round versus the Wolves, but only one person died. He hits him with the running shorty there.
Yeah, it was shut down a little bit. Oh, yep, that utility doing well. Shadow looking to get some info out here on the peak. Unfortunately, that wall is going to make that difficult, so they got to force their way in. Prestige takes down Diablo-sama and Matrix. Replying onto E. No more quick shorty fire there. Prestige goes down to Matrix, so it's evening out a little bit. 3v3 as we're trying to get the plant down, but Moonkeeper taking one, really taking that space. Shadow now trying to force onto Heaven, making Sunny Lee's job difficult, but he finds one on the reload. Still holding that space well. Not sure if he recognizes there's one in hell. It looks like he was peeking it, but too much time on screen, and it's a team ace. Difficult one to pull off there, but Zyram bringing in the last kill for the Barracudas. It was still a damaging round, though, right? They only had 2 people left.
Yeah, but I mean, in this case, the Barracudas are definitely going to be very okay with that in terms of getting 2 guns for them, and they also going to have buys this round, whereas the Wolves are not going to save a fully. And so the eco for Barracudas after winning that round is going to be quite big.
Yeah, an excellent snowball for this beginning econ. Looking at an 0-3. Wolves set up with a typical default. They're going to have to arrest this C push. It looks like it could be pretty forward-paced if Zyram's really going to let off the utility he's foreshadowing here.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that, you know, that what's it called, Harbor does have now is he has the double push. So he has that kind of an extra layer of utility that he can use as kind of the controller with this as well. But, you know, it's pretty interesting to see. You know, he has a lot of flexibility, and I think on a map like Haven, it definitely offers kind of exactly what that is.
Yeah, it lets us kind of get rid of that Viper role of splitting up the terrain and taking your territory one section at a time. But it's a little bit higher paced. You know, you can't just leave the wall there all day.
Ooh. Trying to shoot through. I like how Matrix is actually using the high pen to his advantage, or at least trying to. It's a good idea there. Good to throw out the kind of wall to help him out there. Blind coming in from Milk. Gonna hit, I think, one in the back, but doesn't even actually hit him. Prestige is a 4K, and just like that is 4-0 for the Barracudas, taking convincing lead at the start.
And the Wolves were doing the best they could with what they had. Like, Milk waited to push forward until he had that wall helping them, so they were able to kind of like double up on the utility. But then Wolves just had such a numbers advantage that watching all those angles just became impossible. So it looks like Barracudas are going to have to do some more early blood work that doesn't get traded in order to find that more late game advantage in each round.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a big round for Wolves right here, but it looks like they actually end up forcing last round or some form of it. Their eco is kind of off here, but we're going to see a save from them this round, so Barracudas definitely still have that advantage for this 4-0.
It's a nice, gentle, util-assisted push on through. Find first contact onto that one. It's going to lead to an ult coming through. Do they see Milk in this cheeky corner? Looks like they're pacing for it, but did get that one pretty straightforward. Rezkin is the only one to find one so far.
There's the judge there from Diablo.
Yeah.
Took advantage of that push out here. A lot of Harbor utility being out for both teams, so a lot of water being used.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, lots of water.
Kind of like the cone, you know, making it sort of safe for the plant. Matrix gets a great kill on a Moonkeeper there. And 3v2, Wolves actually have the advantage in the situation. They line up, though. Shadow gets one, but still one. Oh, now it's a 1v1. Zyran.
Yeah, Shadow's staying on site while Zyram left. Makes it difficult to play off contact, but they still found one, and Zyram only needed one more, so on to Sunny Lee, he finds the 5th point for the Barracudas.
And that was a great kind of just jump peek right there as well. He jump peeked on the corner there to kind of see where he was, because he tapped. Did a great job. A lot of ults available for both teams. Both Harbor ults are being are available, and they have 4 ults in each team at the. Or sorry, 3 and 4. This will be a big round for Wolves.
Big push here. That's the most central push that we've seen so far. So the Wolves are expecting some pressure to A and C, as we see here. B was kind of just given to them, so now they just have to protect that.
They're
From the front,
here.
Matrix on the way around. Found one easy. Hang out in this back corner, kind of dump a little bit more utility, but right now the spike is under contest. So the timer just keeps running. Prestige, excellent defense there. Angles out for another, and just totally pinches onto Diablo-sama, finding his 3K there. Just good positioning, gave that one.
Jump peek.
Beautiful reflexes to find the 4th kill. Prestige doing well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a situation where I definitely thought that was going to be the Wolves' first win there. I mean, if you look at this situation, it's a 5v2 here. But they kind of just kept going one by one, and Prestige had some great aim here, just getting the first kill. Immediately getting ready for the second one. And then the third one, he's honestly ready for the peak, which is just shows his game sense that he's ready for it. And instantly from a 5v2 to a 2v1 there, and just an incredible 4K by Prestige right there. And I thought Wolves had everything going from that round, but Barracudas still won it.
And it's cool to see Prestige took that over without any real mind-blowing skill. It was just good foundation, right? He didn't hit any crazy flicks. He didn't have to do any weird, like, econ cheeses. He just had a beautiful off-angle position, and then he changed off the contact to another one, had a clean jump peek, and then squat down for 3 to the head after really placing.
Yep, shooting through right there for Matrix. Does hear the updraft there. Moonkeeper gets a pick onto Milk, so Wolves are already down 2. The Prowler finds Matrix. Wow, and he actually has a judge. Oh, great ult here. Remember, this pings twice now, so peeks a little bit before it goes off, but now there'll be first ping and then the second ping. And Sunny Lee does have the tour de force. It is procced, so at this point he has nothing really to lose because he has a classic. So at this point, you just kind of look for any kills you can get. And we're going to see how he kind of approaches this C site.
Yeah, he's already made the investment, so he has not a lot of time to just do as much damage as he can. On first peek, ooh, over the shoulder, just takes some damage. Kind of hears some people coming from box. They're not going to peek on him because box is coming in. Prestige can be the one there to just take that one for free, so.
Yeah, I mean,
was that a flawless 7 point?
I think they had 1 down, but it is 7-0.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it seems like the Barracudas are not really losing any steam here. I mean, we saw the one situation where it was looking kind of close there. They brought it back, ended up kind of just winning that round as a crazy kind of moment. So it's looking like it's going to be really hard for the Wolves kind of come back in this one.
Definitely so. I mean, and they just keep pushing.
Yeah.
So I would love to see something change at the half. Maybe they have a different pacing set up when they're going to be on the attacking side. There is a chance that they can use the Barracuda's speed, kind of paced mindset against them in the next half. But
yeah.
As far as this half goes, they're just rolling the boulder up the hill.
Little technical issues, so we're going to get that going
issues.
through. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's really hard for you to kind of get back in that mindset when it's. I talk about this a decent amount, but it's that buy, save kind of mentality where it's like, okay, we are saving again, we're saving again, we're saving again, we're saving again. And it's not even the rounds that's 7-0, but it's just more so when you're saving, it feels like you're such a disadvantage, and when you don't win any of those saves at the same time, it's like it's really hard to kind of keep things going. The hard roll is popped, and Reskin got stunned the first time. Gets stunned one more time. Hard roll does stop now. And now it's a 3v3. Reskin gets 1. 2v2 now. Traded though. Oh, Reskin gets another one. 1v2, but the Hunter's Fury is still available. Diablo pushing, yep. Oh, he gets a kill. That's a big one. If Diablo actually loses that fight there, he has the Hunter's Fury, and it's going to be really hard for Reskin to win the round. But that's what we're kind of talking about it. But Wolves win that first round, and You know, I think the biggest thing that's been so hard for the Wolves to secure that round there is the Barracudas just being in those spots where they can trade. If anything, they have to go 1-for-1, you're always be traded, and also just kind of playing that position after the fact. That's making it really hard for them to play, you know, angles that are beneficial to them.
Yeah. Yep, good to Diablo Sama to have the situational recognition to take down the real threat on the spike.
Absolutely.
Really changing the momentum here as Wolves take their first point. This could be a good catalyst for them, if nothing else, a mindset point. Milk taking first contact here. Does see quite a bit. E moves off screen far enough that he goes down to Zyram. Diablo Sama is going to reply though. Finds it from a distance. Backs up. Just setting up the tripwires, making it harder for them to push in, so the defenses are here. But they've still left one over at C in case there's a rotation. Barracudas still have not, you know, committed very much to this site. Certainly not a lot of utility, unlike Diablo Sama, who has got the whole tool belt.
The whole setup here.
On every gate.
Here's a little bit. Uses the smoke early here, so now they can kind of push through. Just looking for the trip that is somewhere on the corner here. Has a second smoke. He's really looking at it. Not going to pop it just yet. You're going to see the utility, obviously.
Yeah, the utility misses him. Diablo Sama's still safe. Finds this. Oh, misses the dart, but at least he knows where both of them are. Got to be in this circle. The other two pushing. But
I'll say he's getting pushed. So got the camera a little too late there. That just sometimes happens to those Cypher players, as you see. Just using that camera, but unfortunately not looking to the side of them.
That while the water goes down, Rezkin is seen, and Sunny Lee found again. They hunt down Matrix. It's not looking good for the Wolves. The Barracudas take their 8th point in the half.
Yeah, and it seems like Prestige is just kind of taking over the game as well for those kills, and just, you know, at this point, definitely hitting a lot of those shots that are pretty important, I would say, for those kills. So Barracuda's leading 8-1, and their utility usage has been pretty well on point too as well. So whoever shot calling or kind of IGLing for that team, you can tell that, you know, they're doing a good job of asking exactly what they kind of want for.
The Barracudas are a real powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know, the Wolves knew what they were getting into here. Hopefully they've set up for a nice second half. Rezkin playing very forward, trying to match that pace. Oh, good sights on the E, but can't commit. Doesn't close the deal, and E finds the first one. Able to really take that space, goes flying in. Oh, and look at that. Does not commit too hard. Finds their second and leaves.
Oh, had his knife out. Suddenly just missed the timing too.
Shows his back to that one. Oh, E playing such high pace. Gets into a strange little blind spot there. Kind of safe on top. Diablo just trying to protect himself.
Oh, great job at waiting for his teammate to Milk to kind of come for that crossfire and get that kill. Oh, Prestige is playing the close left though. Okay, the thing is he saw the product from the left side, so now he knows he's there.
Right, can really play forward onto that one. Has the angle advantage and is able to walk right into it. Good trade there.
Still though, 2v3, the Wolves are down a man, and it's now time for the retake. Yeah,
Sunny Lee has to move forward to let Milk down, otherwise Milk goes live to too many angles, including Hell, which one is definitely in. So it's kind of on Sunny Lee to set the pace here, and he is not feeling a forward push. Sure enough, not enough time. Moonkeeper finds Milk, and on turning tails, arm goes down.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the Barracudas are really good at, is playing that post plant, multiple angles. Playing really disciplined as well. As you can see, all of them are literally not peeking that at all. They had one holding into heaven, but they had others just kind of holding that left close, you know, main area. So made it really hard for anyone to kind of make some room there. And that's just kind of how the Barracudas keep, I would say, winning these defensive or winning these offense rounds. Is they're getting to the spot where they're getting on a site with 4 or 5 members. They're, you know, setting up a post plant. They're not pushing out a spawn too much there. Prestige ended up going 1-for-1, which at that point was good because they had the extra one-man advantage.
Yeah, and I like you're saying they're setting up and they're not kind of pushing out. I mean, if they had advanced onto the Cypher, maybe things would have gone differently, you know? Maybe they then couldn't have gotten to Milk.
The Omenop.
Milk now looking. Yeah.
Oh, as soon as he doesn't hold it, there's 3 there.
And they didn't feel pressure anywhere else.
They heard some noise, I think, from middle there.
Right. Oh, yeah, they did get the 2 down, but there wasn't then like an active pressure. So C wide open now. Retake scenario with one person staggered way ahead. So he's going to try to be brave with this Marshall. Little Omenop action.
Yeah, I guess it is Marshall.
But still, just difficult to find anything now. They've heard that Marshall sound. they're going to play a little bit closer to the walls. Tries to find something through the water, but it's not there. Ooh. Oh, a good 2 in a row. Very nice. Worth, honestly. Unfortunately, the Wolves were not quick enough to get on point. Diablo-sama goes down pretty fast. Prestige finding their 4th kill. Ace in his eyes. The other 2 run off screen to give it to him,
season.
And he finds it.
With the ace. And the Redskins actually headshot E there, but unfortunately it was like right through that platform in the back, so didn't really go through. But Prestige has 23 kills at the moment. And this is, I guess, to see kind of Prestige fully unlock, because he usually has Kinetic with him.
Right.
Who, usually they're kind of the power duo that, is getting a mass amount of kills. But in this case, Prestige is by himself.
He still has Reskin.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, having 24 kill or 23 kills, I think he has, and then the next highest is 7. I think 7 or 9, and that just shows you that Prestige is definitely 23 to 9.
He's been catching consistent 3 or 4 Ks.
Yeah,
you definitely have to recognize where your IGL is and get rid of that. Oh, Redskin,
and just like that.
Oh no, trying to sprint out of there. Stays alive, but goodness is dropped quite a bit for it. Brings the knives back out.
Oh, got Prestige down though from Diablo. Gets 2 actually.
Oh yeah, Diablo doing well here now. 4v2 Wolves look like they may even be able to arrest this push without leaving sight and playing a post plant, which we've seen Barracudas do well in the post plant scenario. So I think getting them to re-rotate was very nice. Chamber, hopefully Sunny Lee has a great position here. Oh no, sees 2 go by and then shoots. They know where he's at.
And they know an operator too as well. They could not know that behind, but
a
lot of time to get like a position on C here. We're gonna play really far back and just wait for his team. A smoke to be used for Harbor.
Such a narrow angle. His team has arrived, but
spike planted.
He's kind of low on options there.
Yeah.
Matrix, beautiful positioning.
Oh, gets 1 though.
1 enemy remaining.
A 4v1. There's no way that Zion can do this.
Oh, see another info drop there as.
Yep, just like that.
Good, finds it.
And 10-2 for the half there. Wolves kind of brought it back like a little bit, but Barracudas are definitely riding that high at the moment here, but we'll see. It's like kind of you said, that halftime switch, and see if the Wolves can kind of get something going on this attack end. They were pretty aggressive on the defense here and got kind of punished for it, rightfully so. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just if you're not aiming, if you're not having a good day aiming, I think it's definitely kind of a thing where you need to elevate your utility usage a little bit more in terms of your team kind of, using those in sync, so it's a less aim, but more about the position that you're putting yourself in.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of positioning, the thing that I'm kind of scared about is Barracudas just did so well in post-plant scenarios. I'm worried that on this switch, their defense, if they can rotate quick enough so that it feels kind of post-plant-ish, that it's just going to be the same thing. So I think Wolves are going to have to move very fast and play that numbers game. Don't let Barracudas buckle down, or you're looking at the same post plants you just got wrecked in. So Prestige is going to take the first push right down B center from just about everybody. E playing very forward on A, backed by that Cypher util, is able to find one and then retreat. They're going to start rotating on their way inward. Prestige doing so well to accept the push here. Finds one. Looking to play forward for a second, can't find it. Barracuda still flawless on the table, as only Sunny Lee and Diablo-sama remain, and they read the rotate well, so they're going to be right up in the face of this box push. Oh, speaking of in the face, Sunny Lee finds an easy one onto E. They've got to reply to that in time, or Diablo-sama taken by Moonkeeper on the thinnest angle. No problems on that 2K. 11th point for Barracudas, and tricky one here. Like, that's the first pistol round. They've got an easy next one, as we already see them buying up to Judges and Spectres. Look like it's going to be an aggressive one.
Yeah, I think if you're Wolves, you just have to force here.
Yep.
I mean, I think you can't really force much, unfortunately, because I don't think they actually got the spike down.
Right.
But I think you still have to try to force something. You got to try something here with stingers or something of that nature, because, I mean, the moment it's 2-12 and we saw Barracuda's bonus, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder.
Yep. Yeah, we're seeing Marshall no shields here. Not quite finding that first one. Now they know. You don't want to waste a Marshall shot on that, so you're just going to brave the storm and find it anyways. Beautiful hold there by Milk to get that one. Huge.
Yeah, Milk's doing a great job with these Marshall shots.
Yeah.
A lot of slows going out with the walls that you're kind of going through.
Can't really play through that.
And they're going to get the spike down.
Spike down,
They're
and they
up
leave
one,
2
too.
up, and they have
Yeah.
2 off of sight. They are up 1, but that's because we haven't gotten a lot of contact. Zyram going to prove us wrong there. Taking on Rezkin. Oh, tries to play around the corner, but a big push by Matrix and Sunny Lee. It's looking pretty good for the Wolves. This might be the most successful buy uphill that I've ever seen.
Yeah. And he has 21 HP. It's not looking too good here for Shadow.
Nope.
And
And the
immediately it
distance,
does go down.
the
yeah.
distance game was not that one. I mean, he could have emptied the whole clip before Sunny Lee.
Yep, and just like that, the Force works. And they go 3-11 there. And it seems like Milk with this Marshall is definitely kind of his weapon in this game. Sometimes the Marshall is the one thing that's hidden.
Which is interesting, because if you know that you're going to go crazy on that distance play, would you pick an Omen?
I mean, you don't really know that ahead of your time, though, right? It's not like, hey, man,
I'm
know
feeling
what,
Marshall hot
going into
today.
this game, my Vandal and stuff ain't hitting, but you know what? My Marshall's going to be hitting. Like, that's a hard thing to kind of realize in, like...
I guess that's why the
and you
warm-up
could
is so important.
You could warm up that way, but
Yep.
the thing is, once you get into a game, it's different.
That's fair.
And I think, you know, a game of these settings where it's like a kind of competitive environment, it's never to go the way that you think it's probably to
And
go.
if someone else, like, hard picks Cypher,
Yeah.
what are your options? Right?
Exactly.
Cypher and Chamber are already called. Like, what do you want from me?
Sees the C's does not go through, so he knows that at least they're not pushing fully.
Which lets, a few close up the back. Zyram catches people with their
Oh.
knives out and still can't close the deal. However, we do have another person in grass. E playing very forward here, really taking that space. Ooh. Teaming up with Moonkeeper, maybe. They're not ready to swing on a double. Looks like they're considering just going back to C, though. Kind of baiting that.
Ooh, Milk once again, no scope headshot onto Shadow
Up
there.
close.
Rezkin gets a kill out of Prestige, and this time it's a 5v2 in this situation.
Oh, Moonkeeper.
I like the left
Scouting
click. I
from
like the
fully
left click idea there.
It's
You
good.
don't always want to right click. Then that time is
Nice.
good for the right click.
Beautiful timing on that one. Grabs the glitch pop Bulldog, feeling good. Try to
Oh, got some
stop
damage
this
out.
push from the back. Oh, no.
30 seconds
Was not ready for this one.
Knife,
This is going to be sad.
imagine.
Last player standing.
Oh.
Oh, just the,
Hey, they're taking what they can
Frenzy.
get. Yeah, that's fair. I guess when you're down at 4-11, you don't want to.
a frenzy is basically just a really long knife.
Yeah.
I'm standing by that.
Yeah.
Standing by that.
I mean,
it really is
honestly,
melee.
the thing is like, it's like a knife that could like, you know, like the what was the like I forgot what it's called. The knife in COD, you could like kind of shoot out of it.
What?
You could shoot a knife out of like the thing and it'd actually go out. But that's how it kind of reminds me. That's how the frenzy reminds me of, because sometimes it can go. You can shoot way farther than you think it can.
Interesting.
So like sometimes it could be a throwing knife.
Okay, throwing knife. I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see that.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Anyways, he got in that range, and killing someone with a frenzy when you're holding on to a decent gun, that's basically a BM.
Yeah.
So we'll give him the bonus points for that one. Wolves now at 4 points. Doing pretty well.
Ooh.
Prestige. Oh,
Does
gets
get
one.
traded though. That's still good.
Does
I mean,
get
when
traded.
you're attacking, it's not. It's honestly pretty good, especially on a map like Haven, just because of the map's kind of, you know, sporadic nature. Oh, and his knife
Right
out.
through the wall,
Yeah.
into the toes. Rezkin finds another one.
If they're not even going C just yet here, we see the rest of the Wolves kind of just spread out. No one actually still making any movement
It's
there.
been an interesting position play because they can't really pull off of A after they saw their IGL go down
Yeah.
at the beginning of the corridor. So they just kind of have to buckle down and, or they double down to this default.
They'll coming out. Zyram going to be coming right behind Rezkin.
Oh, on a hunt.
Oh,
Just barely that little bit of
I
yellow.
think Rezkin definitely heard that, but
He
he's just
didn't
going to go
turn
all the way
around,
around.
though.
And the thing is, his teammates know they're in spawn here. Oh, he still gets the kill on the Moonkeeper, though.
Rezkin just had the angle advantage there, moving nice and slow towards the wall, so.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, Rezkin gets 3K.
Oh. Playing hot. It feels like they've all walked all the way around the map. This is such a...
Yeah, I think Shadow's going to try their best to save this. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
that's so scary.
Okay.
Yeah, looking for, like, outro save. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. They're here for the long game. That's just so weird.
Oh, and Diablo gets the kill onto it. And the Wolves' attack so far is definitely kind of awakening something in them, because it is now 5-11 here. And the Wolves are just slowly but surely bringing it back here.
No, they're definitely more comfortable in this half.
And, you know, sometimes I really do think about this in general, is just the mindset of attacking. Sometimes the defense is just like you're not having it, and sometimes you get in the kind of the I'm going to hold this angle mindset. And a lot of the time, I mean, the attackers kind of have that advantage of they're peeking you. And so I think sometimes the teammates just need that kind of attack mindset where it's just, I'm going to keep peeking all those things, and then I'm most likely going to be at that advantage and win.
Yeah, the game's set up in a way that the pacing is most naturally defined by the attacking side. Oh, Matrix. Takes a good one just by playing really slow in this C area. Barracuda's trying to play very forward and just take that space aggressively. It's not going super well for him. Shadow kind of playing the back foot here, looking for something. Does find one. Nope, Zyron was the one that took it. Zyron now looking for one more just to clean this space up. Gets caught too quickly as they're totally pinched on. Just last man surviving situation.
Yep, and it's now 6-11 here. Barracudas cannot get these 2 rounds. And even this 1 round, I would say, to get to that 12 point here.
Yeah, this is usually a place that we see a timeout. You know?
Yeah, and it's one of those things, I think, where Prestige had 23 kills. And that was about 6-7 rounds ago, and he's at 25. So the team could definitely be one of those things where Prestige was definitely kind of carrying that weight of the attack side. And now the defense side, they have a lot more room of the Wolves to kind of work. And so now it's kind of, you know, kind of picking them apart, as you could call it.
Right, that makes sense. The Wolves kind of decide who they fight, and there's only 1 in 5 chance it lands on Prestige, but the Barracudas, when attacking, could lead with Prestige every time.
Well, and the Wolves could have, you know, 2 close to each other so they could trade the Prestige kill, whereas beforehand, the Prestige would have multiple members
it wasn't
behind
really up to them.
Exactly. Moonkeeper with a kill onto Reskin. That's the first time, I think, in this half. The Barracudas are up 1 here. Does have 2 ultimates available for each team here. Hunter's Fury is a little bit more valuable than the Omen ult, and I would say the Harbor ult can be pretty useful as well. He has an Odin.
Nice. What a show match move to hold the corner with an Odin and absolutely shut someone down. Moonkeeper finding one onto Milk. Now Barracuda's kind of own the whole site. It's a little spike in pocket for the Wolves. They're just looking for something. Matrix trying to take some more space here. He's going to dodge this util very well, hopefully giving Prestige that false sense of security. Looking to play out a little bit.
Ooh.
Giving up his location, but for a free kill on E, that's important. Prestige playing forward. Is now tuning the util towards him, but just as a threat to then move around and attack from another side. They're playing some real cat and mouse here, giving Sunny Lee the chance to only 1-on-2 into the C side here for a plant. Low on time, though. It's going to be like 20 seconds to take these guys out.
Absolutely. Matrix gets 1, though, on a Prestige. Gets
nice.
2.
Finds his 2. The cat and mouse game finally comes to a head. Now he can assist Sunny Lee, who finds his own.
Time.
Oh, he left the bomb in pocket.
Yeah.
They've got to go for a 5-man kill, and Hunter's Fury was already in position. That's going to be just a sad end.
Yeah, and, you know, it was one of those things where Sunny Lee might have thought either Matrix was coming earlier,
right,
or Sunny Lee was just more so...
He thought both were on site and totally...
Yeah, and that's just kind of one of those, you know, unfortunate situations where they ended up playing it well, but just for getting that spike down, they didn't have enough time. And they did have the Hunter's Fury, to be fair.
Yeah, even if you have the spike anyways, it's hard to place that.
Yeah.
Unless he could just place it way off default, make the Hunter's Fury difficult to grab. And then it's a 2-to-1 defense. So that was probably redeemable. Just, you know, it's a risky call. It's high pressure there.
Yep, and it's now 6-12 with Barracudas on that match point
and
here.
Look at these ults that are live.
Yeah, for both teams. We have the knives for both teams. We also have the 2 to Force coming in from the Wolves. So see how that goes. And the knives are popped from the Wolves.
The ever situational Omen ult available as well. I'd love to see something cheeky done with that. There we go.
Oh, wow, nice flick there by Reskin. Just shoot that
Out.
trap. Yeah, does a good job of that.
That Omen ult does put him right in the back of C.
I know exactly.
Diablo Sama to find one. With the assistance.
First tag. Now the second tag, yeah. Big fan of that change from Cypher.
Diablo Sama.
Oh, Milk gets a kill through the smoke, I believe, on a Prestige.
Yeah, when Diablo Sama was closer, so good one there, Matrix. Looking to take the last one. There it is. Wolves 7-12. It's a little scary. They cannot lose a single round. They've got to get 5 in a row to bring it to
They
OT.
did get 5 in a row, but I mean, they've been definitely steadily bringing it back. I mean, it was 10-2.
It's such, but 5 is so many. Yeah, and here's that timeout we were discussing. Came just a 1-on-1 later. Who called it? Shadow did.
Yeah, so Barracudas did.
Yep,
And I think
very fair.
I think it's a smart call.
That's the way I would do it. Because if they can have one big round that
Yeah,
they
I mean,
just
they just need
execute
one.
completely,
They just need one.
that's all they need. And they've got 4 out of 5 ults on the board. And I don't know how close orb-wise that last one was. So they could really, really like ult dump here.
Yeah, the one thing that kind of I've noticed too with kind of contributing to the Barracuda's success on the first half is their utility usage. There are a lot of utility-wise. There's some great kind of plays here, and I've seen it kind of now that they're on the defense, and maybe it's because of that 12 kind of or that 10-2, where it's kind of you lose a lot of that kind of, I would say, momentum / focus, and then they kind of just start using that utility together in sync. So E here has the knives. It looks like Wolves are posturing towards kind of a rush. They've not really done yet so far. There's been a lot of defaulting. Oh, great peek by Prestige there. Uses the haunt, so he has to look up and then peeks as soon as it goes out. Oh, and Rezkin. Oh, 5 HP, gets headshot by the Sheriff, but unfortunately 145 there. And lives.
Yeah, both Jets very, very low. Sunny Lee about to take some pressure here. A little jump peek.
Hey, there's, oh, here comes the ult coming in. Covers the entire side too, so great job there. I think the counter ult came out as well, so there's 2 ults, I think, believe that is happening right now. The biggest thing is just have to keep moving to kind of get those things, keep rockets, to keep dodging them. But the Wolves are at almost, you know, coming in at 40 seconds here, so they're going to start kind of creating space and pushing out if they want to make a kind of a play happen, because at the moment, Barracudas have full control of every side.
Yeah, and Prestige is just sitting on top of the spike now too, so Rezkin has got to really accept this push from the back. He's just waiting on top of it. Wow, he's going to dump the ult just to protect the spike, and Rezkin finds it anyways on 1 HP, opping through the wall to grab the spike. Now that he's got it, 12 seconds to hit sight, there's just no way. He's going to miss an op shot up close. E playing very forward, just to stall. Just to stall. Finally finds that headshot.
They're actually just winning. Yep.
Man, that's a tough one.
And right there is how Barracudas take down the Wolves. I mean, still a great kind of, you know, comeback for that one. And of course, you know, going out of the Lone King League ult so far, ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. Last game, we just saw that kind of comeback come exactly, almost bringing it all the way back there. And Esports Tower really takes the time to create its well-matched teams. And if those who haven't checked it out yet, Esports Clubs, you should, is a fast track to rank up. And the Barracudas win game 1. Can they finish off the series as we head off to Ascent? And so we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back after these set of ads.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app. I know this car got you through college, but check this out. In my credit, your credit score looks good. And there's a great rate on this auto loan so we can score a roomier ride. Whoa, who's driving this thing? The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. And of course, we are broadcasting it from the Boise State Esports Arena. And welcome to the Fall Rumble. The Barracudas and the Hawks are set up for Game 2, and the Barracudas are looking to sweep. And can the Hawks pull off a win and force a Game 3, or do they not? You know, I'm your host, Brett Koziancic, and joining me to call the action today is Greg Old Soul Smith. And Greg, we're going on to Ascent, which is kind of that map that we always talk about as being the bread and butter. What do you think is going to be different between this map and the map that just happened?
Hopefully they realize that they have that potential in that other half, right? We can deal with the prestige issue of things being like lined out a little bit. So it makes the other half where they're down so much more critical. Every round is another round that they don't have to get in a row in their good half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly what I was thinking as well, is once we saw them attack, they were a completely different team. And I think that's kind of something that they can unlock for themselves is that, hey, if we go maybe a little 8-4 instead of a 10-2, it gives them a little more of a chance to kind of work with, whereas that 10-2, you only have 3 rounds to kind of work with. But we do want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower club members who have graduated from the clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last year, Esports Tower club members have received over $3.9 million in scholarship awards, and these students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. We could not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting. It's a really cool thing to see, and each week we kind of see these players, new players as well, kind of cycle in, and then the old players kind of get those opportunities to play collegiate. And of course, we also have the Docs Keys of the Game today, which is presented today by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. And in Valorant, you want to flank efficiently, spend and peek wisely, count those cards, call those abilities, and click those heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up, and that is brought to you by Esports Tower. And kind of getting back to the topic at hand here is, can the Barracudas finish off the series with a sweep, or can the Hawks force us to a Game 3? And it's going to be on Ascent, and that's like we kind of said. I think Ascent is one of those maps that on attack you have to be kind of a little bit more, I would say, synchronized, because, you know, on a map like a Haven, you kind of default, get those picks, play off the picks. Okay, it's actually Bind today, my bad there. But Bind is also a fun map because it's, you know, historically defensive-sided, but we've seen a lot of esports teams, I would say, be more attack-sided than defensive-sided, at least in this kind of situation.
And something we discussed about Ascent that still applies to Bind is how fast you can rotate. It still like has a higher mobility feel. It's difficult unless you're operating on B, on Haven, to really change that. So it does up the pace of the game a little bit.
And of course, we can check out this amazing offer from Vitamin Shop by, you know, scanning that QR code on the screen. Vitamin Shop has everything a gamer could need, and check out their latest products by scanning that code. And of course, we are going to see that Prestige is going to be on that Barracudas once again, and, you know, both had some great game 1s, and now it's time for that game 2. And, you know, how does it kind of differ from, I would say, you know, the show match mentality here? I don't think it's that big of a mentality difference, but, you know, after having a game like that where you can kind of creep back, I think it gives you a little bit more confidence going into this game 2 as the first game did. Yeah,
and the show match does change the picks like we talked about. So I'd love to see what people are feeling comfort with, or what they think will advantage the team best. Looks like E is going to stay strong to that.
Oh, I like the C's nade combo there. Does get hit by the C's, but unfortunately the nade went a little too deep there. But a lot of action happening back and forth here. Mammoths are still down, you know, 2 to 4 members here, but are getting the plant down. Smoke goes off, and
Wishes just had
Sometimes the
DPS.
friendly just doesn't have it, or at least it feels like it doesn't have it.
It definitely doesn't have it for the body shots. So when Wishes is just strafing that well, it's a hard one to hit. So Rezkin moving on up with Wishes. Last two on the board as far as defense goes, and the spike is already down, and they're sitting right on top of it. It's looking rough for the Mammoths.
Absolutely here, and we're going to see Rezkin having a 1v3. Has both heals available or dismisses, so definitely has the opportunity to kind of win this as Reyna by having these one-on-ones. Oh my gosh, Milk playing a really close angle there, which is a very hard shot to hit. But, I mean, I think playing that angle in a 1v3 is a good job
They're
to
on
do.
the back foot.
Yeah, we've seen Milk do well, and now we're seeing them move from that Omen position to the Cypher.
Yeah.
So I think the distant shots are going to be a little bit better, and past round 4, we're going to see him really unlock those marshals, occasional ops, the things he wants to be behind.
Yeah, I love he said post round 4, although he is going with the Spectre. So I think it's a new game for him. He's like, hey, you know what? The Marshal was last game. I don't have it this game.
Okay,
it is a
yeah.
Spectre time. And that is very fair. I mean, sometimes you have a great Marshal game and you're like, hey, I can't do that again.
Right.
But, you know, kind of having that flank done. E going back here has full utility, but has just the classic available.
Yeah, it looks like they're tightening up here. They were positioned pretty far forward. E still is. Love that almost kinetic style mindset of E playing. Oh, just right in each other's face. Kinetic is going to be the one to find it.
Yeah, kind of a little pocket there where it was safe, and you tried to get you tried to blast back out of there, but unfortunately Kinetic was ready for that. And now they're full on to B site.
Ooh, Cabin, we didn't get to see play last round, as the Hawks transition ever so slightly to the Mammoths.
Spike planted.
Wishes moving their way up to Avian, considering this Molly. As this smoke drops, we're going to get a lot of fire. Oh, the angle advantage is not good. You can still see the barrel from around that corner, so they find him a little quick. Avian getting a free kill, their Prestige. Following up for another one. Rezkin looking to fight here, but does take one, but I don't even think they saw Kinetic jump over him. Just good blast pack mechanic understanding by Kinetic.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're see the we've seen this kind of happen though for most of the first halves of these games where, you know, they win the first one, they get the buy up with the Spectres, they win the second one. I always feel like the second half is definitely a little bit more drawn up, where sometimes we've seen kind of them force in the second half and end up winning the round where both teams are buying. So
especially last game where stakes were so high, they kind of had to.
And now we're going to see kind of this 2-0 be happening here. And now it's going to be going into this third round, whereas the Barracudas will be bonusing, flashing in. I don't think they got the audio cues. They kind of know that no one's in U-Haul at the moment.
So Kinetic got to walk right in. Kind of had to risk it on the right side, lost some health that way, and now they know that they're in there, but they got the space for free. You know, now they have to keep their crosshair looking over. So Rezkin is able to use that distraction to their advantage, find one. Wishes making their way out.
Right here.
But Spike is not down just yet here.
That's true. He's still got a minute to do it.
And I get to pick onto E there in U-Haul.
Mammoths rotate off for a second. Thinking maybe Barracudas, because Spike isn't even on site yet.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't actually planted yet, but they have a lot of space still. That's the biggest thing is them holding the space allows them to still get onto site at the moment.
Wishes almost made contact there, but doesn't want to be the one to peek. So doesn't find it. They're still feeling this rotation might be necessary, and it could be. Barracuda Spike is sitting right in the gates.
Oh, Rezkin gets found with the...
And decides to play forward anyways and gets, and gets one.
Does a great job there. Does have the ult popped here. He knows that basically the only way the Barracudas can do this right now is by coming onto the site.
Got at least one site. Oh, Spike goes
Spike down A.
Down for the ace too.
Yeah, that 4K beautiful Kinetic might be the one to
and
mess
like
that
one
up.
Spike and B gets
takes one
gets
for free.
two.
He's gonna upgrade to a better gun, but he doesn't know the angle he's coming from. They went forward. Oh,
he wants the ace.
The wall takes some damage. Kinetic still at that good 71. Oh, tries to run out. The ace is found.
And the thing is the Spike didn't even go down for the Barracudas there. Like that entire time they were fighting all this time, and he was just sitting into U-Haul and just sitting there. And Rezkin, I think the one thing that was really good from Rezkin this round is when the two members come, he pops Empress because he knows that the only way they can come in is coming through the site. But he gets the one kill and he doesn't dismiss. He doesn't get the second one right away and then he dismisses. I think this was a really good play kind of by him, and obviously gets the ace for the round and just a great job to kind of get that one up on him.
Yeah, beautiful util management followed by a nice little 1v1 gunplay. with a break in between where he kind of has to analyze what he needs to do.
And I think that's a thing is, pre-popping the Empress just shows his game knowledge in terms of, hey, they're going to have to come to me or they're saving, and they're probably not going to be saving.
Right.
And so I think that's just a really good heads-up play from Reskin there to secure the round with the Empress, because that's basically the big difference there.
So the Mammoths find the first point here. It's 2v1 on their way up. It's going to be a big push onto B. No playing around now. It is obvious where they're going to be. So Mammoths looking for a rotate on the way over, but they've already taken the site too fast.
Got him.
Yeah, Kinetic really getting the full advantage of that ult. Finds one.
Showstopper, I swear, is the most interesting ult in the game for its damage.
Spike down
KC
B.
Korkla is finding his first ult first kill on screen, I think. A second one almost gets that third, but the playoff contact's too good, and Kinetic finds another. A 2v2 now, both on site for each team. Getting to see that plant come out in E, considering something cheeky. Splash pack gets good contact onto one, but they just play off of it too fast, and Kinetic finds their 4th kill for the round.
Yeah, I would say Kinetic's starting to come online. We saw Prestige have his game last game, but now we know exactly what Kinetic is capable of, and that is getting a lot of kills.
And we've talked about this before, where it feels like sometimes they just draw sticks out of a hat, and it's somebody's turn to pop off. Just good streak can be so situational. I think that's something that changes on a best-of-3 in the showcase match.
Yeah, I think Kinetic's just one of those duelist players, though, who's always be playing aggressive, and his aim is just always in it. I think that's what kind of really makes Kinetic different from the rest, is his positioning and his aim is just always pretty consistent, and that's just kind of always what allows him to get these kills. Here comes the Boomboga declaring all of Hookah here. Milk, he does see him through his camera there, but they're actually TPing out here. Reskin is available for this, has a shorty. Probably good for one here.
Oh, didn't even get the one.
Prestige going wide there was definitely a good call because he knows that, I mean, he's probably aware of the Mammoths being on a save round. And so him going wide there knows that if he has a shotgun, he's not going to be able to kill him from that far.
Anti-eco mentality.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent recognition of the situation. I mean, the game sense is here.
Absolutely.
Korkla is kind of playing into an interesting pit, not a situation he wants to be a part of, so he's going to leave the room. Wishes is the next one in line to take that fight. Looks like he's going to set up some more smoke. Stim beacon. They're starting to play forward. Oh, a stim beacon. They just commit to a spot that was not safe. Cabin is able to find one on the way out, but Kinetic gets that 2K to find him anyways. Barracudas now.
Yeah, Wishes was like, hey, we're going in here. And then the thing is that as they were going in, as they probably were thinking, the 2 members from the enemy team just peeked them and said, hey, you're not going anywhere.
I think he was still, like, there's no L cancel for dropping that, right? So he was still looking at the utility animation coming back out.
Absolutely. And of course, a lot of people don't get that probably, but that's all right.
It's all right.
They would, just melee things.
Yeah, melee.
But, Reskin doing his best to kind of hold that angle here. But weird buy, I would say, from the Mammoths here. But they do have the tour de force. I think that's why it just seemed weird on the screen. Reskin going with the light buy, which, right now is pretty popular on just because of their ability just to overheal. So, Korkle's going to see if they can do this tour de force. Shoots the camera right away. Gets the kill on a Kinetic, which is a big kill for them. But Avian trades. And E actually gets a kill on the Milk. I don't know if that was a C's lineup or not.
That was a very targeted flash there. They weren't able to play off of that, but did get one. Oh, starting to look forward. Absolute shuts him down
it's a great
with the cheeky angle.
Cabin.
Good positioning. Mammoths really shutting down this push by Barracudas. Wow, E taking a little trade. I say worth it.
Yeah,
numbers game is beautiful.
Numbers game for sure. 4v2 there. Okay, so it was not a C's nade combo earlier because he just used the C's at the moment.
Ooh. Nice response. Can't
Close.
find the second. Nope, the trade is still there. And that's why that numbers game of just taking the trade earlier, when you have the advantage, the ratio gets better and better.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think Wishes was almost like aware of the late peak there, because if you saw Atlas actually started spray transferring right away, and Wishes, I think if he had peaked right away right there, it would have been a scary situation where he probably might have been able to do this spray transfer. So definitely just kind of an interesting situation where it's one of those things where you don't know if they're thinking about that or probably just like, hey, I'm going to peek a little bit later.
Korkla's splitting up for a nice mobility play in case they push B.
Yeah, exactly. He had the ability with his tour de force. He was going to A side to see, oh
no. They shut that one down.
Yep.
Stinger. No, Spectre to the gut.
Yeah, say. I think it was a Stinger, actually.
Yeah, Stinger.
Yeah.
Stinger right in the face, not going to be there.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness, Reskin.
He didn't even use the flash. I think he was just scared.
Yeah, he was trying to ignore the flash and then realized the man next to him was out to get him.
just went all the way through, did not stop, went all the way through spawn right there. That was a crazy play.
Prestige, Kinetic, everybody on site.
Big
Numbers
flash.
game not looking good. Mammoths do have 2 ults they could use here, but yep, there we go.
Orbital Strike being used.
Orbital Strike is a good play. Not going to find much. They've kind of all played off of it, but at least that tells you where they're not. Corkless tries to use that to advantage. Wishes does it successfully, but it's not quite enough. Cabin, last one dropped to give Barracudas 3 alive as they find their 0.5 against 2.
No more doubt.
Yeah, and it seems like
We're
Barracudas are slowly kind of getting their footing again in terms of getting the momentum going. Kinetic has 13 kills at the moment. She's at 4, but I mean, Kinetic definitely kind of making things happen with these Raze plays, I would say.
Here's the thing, if we expect Mammoths to be incredibly advantaged in the attack side, I would take 2 to 5 at this point.
2 to 5. I mean, what happened to the other rounds?
Well, the other round was it was 7-0 last game.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, that's okay. I see
So
what you're saying.
2-5 is
Sounds
better.
like 2-5. Like, what's gonna happen next? Like, you have to get to 12 somehow.
Right. No.
That's
No.
fair. I know what you're saying.
2-5
I mean,
as opposed to the 7-0
I
that we
think
were
the
looking at.
4-8 is like, you know, what you'd probably be comfortable with. But once again, on Bind, it's kind of a defensive-sided map, whereas Haven was more of an offensive-sided map. So,
He saw it, but it's not shotgun distance, so he gets to shotgun distance. Unfortunately, he's going to go down to Atlas.
I mean, hey, go for the play. I like it. Going
He's like,
all
I
the
know
way
there's
in.
somebody there. And
I'm getting my 1.
Last player standing.
Did find his 1. Cabin looking to find his 1. Throws
Just
out a
usually
little
picking
utility,
the
but
right
it's still,
side, though.
angles are just no good.
Any
Yep.
second now. Oh, is he looking for the knife?
As soon as he takes
he
a
is.
shot the wrong way,
Oh, no.
right in
he
his
should've
face.
killed, though.
they get it anyways. And what a quick swap to go for the knife and then find it on the gun. Doesn't let any of his men take it.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going for the knife again. He's like, okay, I got my chip damage
Been
in
humbled,
there.
yeah.
He's lit. He's
lit.
He's in.
No.
But that was, Barracudas are kind of having fun, as you can kind of see them starting to get through. And this time, I think they have that Kinetic having that little bit more, I would say, what they're used to with that kind of, balance between Prestige and Kinetic. So seeing that happen right now. The rest of the team, we saw Avian go really aggressive as well, but Barracuda's up 6-2. Mammoths had some great kind of plays early, and I'd love to see them kind of recreate that. They do have the Empress available, and they do have the Fade ult available. So
find you.
love to see some utility being used onto site, but it is going to be a save round here for the Mammoths.
Cabin dumps a little down long, so they know what is going on. Mammoths are starting to get that rotate out.
Wow.
Corkless goes down fast with Cabin, so being the catalyst for this move as they start pushing right on.
Wow, great game sense there for Prestige. He knew he dogged him in the tunnel there, so he was stunned, and him shooting exactly kind of where he was stunned there. So I like that play a lot by Prestige.
Spike planted.
A lot of judges here.
Player
He got one
standing.
last round. They can do it again.
He's just not in good judge range. Oh, tries to get out of there. Oh no, just the knife to the floor.
Yeah, that was a flawless.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, I don't know how Mammoth's eco is there, because some of them kind of had the judge, some of them had some sheriffs.
The judge is kind of, you're gambling that you're going to have a judge position later on in the game. If his sidearm was a ghost, he could have moved in very deliberately and taken care of the man in U-Haul and then been in a great place. Back of B-site, nice place to have a judge, but just had to force his way through. Wasn't good. Tried to run out of it, even worse.
Yeah, now it's be 7-2. They have kind of an interesting kind of buy here from Mammoth. A lot of different guns are available. We'll see how this goes here, though. And Barracudas are looking for a rush B scenario here. They have 3 going hookah side and then 2 going long. Boom Ball going to be going through. They killed the trap right away, so they does get hit by it again. Does TP this time, though. And just like that, the Barracudas have full, the site. Ooh, Cabin had a good job of trying to wait for the tracking, but unfortunately, Avian just keeps going through and getting the kill. Right there, Avian was just spraying and praying, it looked like, through just the smoke. So, interesting job there. But E has a Marshall. And Reskin has
Last player standing.
Sheriff again. Oh, okay.
What?
Well, they got that one. Okay.
Oh,
first
Reskin going
3
crazy.
shots were crazy, but the last 2 were dialed in.
Yeah. Almost didn't deserve that first one. They're going for swarm mentality though. When it's a 1vx anytime, they're just gonna race right onto your plate. I feel like the Barracudas are taking B a lot quicker. I think it's because Mammoths don't like holding hookah. We have not seen very many holds
Yeah,
in
and
hookah.
they have the judge too, and they're not really using it in that spot. I will say, I like how Barracudas have kind of progressed in this half, where the start of it, they started playing a little slow, defaulting, playing a lot of rotates, and then so now, I think the Mammoths are not really knowing what they're going to do, and then they kind of did this rush thing where Barracudas' last 1 or 2 rounds there have just kind of forced that split B, and then no one's playing hookah because of their rotates.
Right, so they might throw a boombot in just to check that 50-50, just in case they get wise, but it feels like they know where that line of scrimmage is. They're able to play pretty quickly and just take hookah for themselves. Yeah, quick check, little 50-50, no action.
Yeah, and this is what we're kind of seeing is Kinetic is actually keep him honest on A and gets a pick onto it, so one going to TP, but Redskin was actually doing the same thing to them by holding him onto that. Sees and Fatal coming out, does hit Milk, but not going to be able to see much else with that. They know Redskin is on A, at least that Bath side, but let's see if they can actually get onto site with that 3v1 situation there.
Prestige in a cheeky one. Talk about keeping honest. Everybody's moved their way to A, and Prestige is looking for some, do I dare call them outros, as they try to get some rotate kills right to the back.
Yeah. Exit frag, I guess,
Exit
if that's
frags.
one way to do it.
Rotate frags.
Sure.
No discipline necessary. He's moving in on a pinch to Wishes. The Wishes life is on a clock now. Going to play through that smoke to give him. Smoke is gone. Flash is coming in tight. Doom impending.
Oh, wow. He actually got him through the wall there with Prestige. So, Joe, there it's 9-2. It's looking like last game all over again with that,
last round,
10-2 first half into the 9-2. So we'll see that kind of how that goes.
Yeah. They could take a 9-3, take a little pause to pray for the curse, move back into it.
All right. Here comes the last match, the last round of the half here. True to Force and Orbital Strike available for the Barracudas here, so I can definitely see that be popped. But once again, Mammoths' eco is not looking too good in this situation here. And we're going to see kind of how they approach this. Does have a smokes, not going to use them just yet, which is, I think, is just kind of waiting for sound. But this time, Barracudas is going to be doing something new this round and playing a full walk into B long here. Probably use all their utility and then go out all at once here, but we'll see they end up doing. Yep, there's the smokes coming out, but that's from Wishes. Actually, that's from their team because they actually end up smoking hookah there. Wow, and they just end up just gunning down the team, getting a 3 for 0 there.
The real bump rush mentality as you are on the...
I like that play too, of just kind of, walking up long, getting, a lot of space and then going through it after that because there's no utility they can use and kind of reacting to that. Now just one left.
Like it's going to
as they kind of just knew there. And 10-2 just like last game. But I think, like I said, the big difference this game is it's bind, which is bind is very defensive kind of sided, at least for some teams. I think Barracudas are doing a pretty good job of defense, whereas Mammoths might be a little harder for attack because it takes a lot of synced kind of plays as we've seen Barracudas do here, and I think it's going to take a lot for Mammoths to kind of replicate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, we've seen small agent change, small player change, but really that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, for the Barracuda side, you're adding, Kinetic. So it's like one of the players who probably, if there was a stat for most kills in the, I guess, esports tower, Kinetic probably has that in, in terms of most consistent kills. I mean, Prestige definitely gets a lot of kills too, but this guy is 19, again.
Yep.
And I think it's just kind of, every time we've seen him in a game, he has more than 20 kills. Like, just almost every game. In fact, I'd say every game.
He's going to cross that threshold here if he can find a kill.
Absolutely. Him and Prestige playing in this kind of Bath area. And they're playing at, oh, and you can see almost 4 or 5 with that dog. He's got the dog in him.
Yeah.
Fake plant, looking for a little bit more utility or anything, maybe a peek, but
not going to be there because that flash didn't give them any info. It played right into the smoke, so
Kinetic ends up getting a kill behind them, by the way. He pushed all the way through Showers because Prestige is now playing from Showers. Avian peeks him, gets a kill there, 5v2. Has the shorty, gets one. And now it's just E with this shotgun, I guess, challenge, you could call them.
Does find another one and got some chip damage off on the other man.
Almost knifed him. I don't know if you saw that, but he did have his knife out.
Ooh.
Kinetic now at 21 kills. 11-2, and I have a big feeling, yeah, it's going to be a force here from Mammoths, which, I mean, they've kind of been doing the, I guess, later half of the first half, I would say. Right. They just kind of kept forcing things we've seen.
And you kind of have to.
Yeah,
I mean,
and now Kinetic is going with the Bulldog.
This is the last time they could save, or the last time they can afford to lose. Barracudas are in that double digits threatening position. We're coming to maybe not the close of the game, but we're definitely, phase 3.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Right here.
Avian ready. Atlas with the judge. Excellent call they pulled out
Nice.
earlier. And skills one. Avian gets one right there. Goes to
enemy
TP,
remaining.
and just like that round was fast.
They just punished them for not checking to 50-50, and once they had got him into a trapped
Match
position,
point.
down a man, hitting that TP was the easiest walk.
Yeah. And
And
now,
then huge pinch.
Mammoths are going to buy here, but, with little to no resources. Avian's to upgrade to a Vandal, which I'm a big fan. I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
I actually ended up selling it back, because the Prestige now has the Phantom.
And the hold on B is a little strange. They've got a man in hookah that they're basically baiting because the utility is behind him.
Yeah.
So if he arrests the push, the utility doesn't get used. So their B hold, they're planning on leaving there, honestly.
Absolutely.
So this push onto A is pretty good. They've only got one man onto A. It's an obvious post-plant bait. Unfortunately, that does mean we might see Kinetic for not very much longer as he gets judged in the stomach. E taking him out. This plant coming down. Now Barracudas, it's their time to shine as they rotate on their way back. It's a 3-way pinch. If they time it right, this could be a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. Oh, and gets killed from the side there. Reskin gets another one, but now it's 2v2.
Last player
Barracudas
standing.
1v2 here. Prestige does have a Phantom, though, and I'm pretty sure E is literally 1 HP with that, and now the Barracudas are going to win
Defenders
that
win.
13-2. The Barracudas end up winning the show match with a sweep over the Hawks, and of course, up next is the final game between the Penguins and the Foxes, which looks like I think we're going to go straight into that game after this, but... great game that we've seen. I would say, once again, I think the Barracudas are definitely just kind of that team that can go and kind of stomp people and do their thing. So definitely love seeing things like that. Any points, I guess, you want to talk about the game?
Nope, solid show match. Like you're saying, it's good to show off during a show match. So having that powerhouse out here is, a fun thing to see.
Absolutely, and I think, like I said, we're going to do no break this time. I think it's going straight into that third match between the Penguins and the Foxes is what I think they're both being called for this time. And so kind of love seeing stuff like that. We've seen 2 maps at this point now. I don't know what the third map is just yet, and so interested to see kind of what that is, because we've seen a lot of different kind of, I guess, looks from these teams in terms of, we saw the Bind, and then we also saw the Haven. I think those are both completely different maps.
They're completely different maps, but they're both maps that people understand a lot. And we've seen a lot of things come down to game sense. So as soon as we can jump into this one, I would love to see a newer map that kind of puts them a little bit more on their toes. Game sense is less of an established thing, which is why we don't see a lot of the big teams choose those maps very fast, right? You never know where a broken beta is hiding.
Yeah. I also think the one thing we really don't see Fracture. I think we don't see Fracture a whole lot, and I think that's just an esports tower thing. At least we don't really see that much. Like I said, we see Haven, we see Bind, we see Breeze a decent amount too. But I would love to see kind of these teams kind of end up playing Fracture based on how they played Haven, where it was kind of this attack side ends up being the side that they're good at, or at least they're better at, and kind of get things together there. I think, like I said, Bind is a little bit harder there just because we've seen teams like the Barracudas kind of. I think that's like their best map is Bind at this point, and so. And at this point, I think we're going to break, and so we'll be right back after this break, and we'll see you for that third game.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
There are things we do for each other. Not because we're told. Not because someone asked. Just because we're in this together. And it's the nice thing to do. Idaho's Central Credit Union. Giving back is what membership is all about.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We are broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena, and welcome to the Game 3 between the Barracudas and the Alumni. After a dominant performance in Game 1 and 2, can they win this third game? I'm your host, Brandon Koziansik, and joining me to call the action today is Greg Old Soul Smith. And Greg, the map that we learned is Split is the third game. We haven't seen Split in however long. I haven't played it in however long because I usually don't play on Rated or anything like that. I'm really interested to kind of see with the new agents that have come out and how we see Split.
It feels weird. It feels like we're going back to Overwatch 1 with Overwatch 2 mechanics.
It's like going back in time.
It feels like, going back in time, which I love to drone on and on about the beta days. I love old Valorant, and I'm so ready for this. I was going to say, why don't they pick a fresh new map that they're maybe not comfortable playing under, showcase conditions, kind of cheese it up a little bit. I think this is a great way to take it. I'm excited.
Absolutely, and of course we can see that by seeing Doc's Keys to the Game, which is presented today by Esports Tower. Scroll Pro device at esportstower.com. And in Valorant, you want to flank efficiently, spend and peek wisely, count cards, call those abilities, and click heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up, and that is brought to you by Esports Tower. And like I kind of said, this is going to be a match on Split. But the one thing I'm thinking is we might see a little Harbor action.
Yeah.
We might see, it'd be interesting to see, I guess, Chamber on this map as much because, kind of happened, but Fade as
right
well. The Fade on this map.
I think Fade could totally take the Reyna Raze position.
Well, I think Raze is 100% stable on this map.
You think Raze is still
absolutely.
insta-Q?
Raze is too good on this map.
For me, the insta-Q is Sage.
Yeah, that too as well. But of course, if you want to check out that amazing offer on the screen right here, but you can check on scan the QR code, check out their latest products. That is Vitamin Shop and has everything a gamer could need. Going back to but Raze I think is just way too important on this map. I can see the one duelist being Raze because she can clear so many corners with her nades. She has her boom bot, and then we kind of see how that goes.
Wow, Brim and Breach. I was not ready for that Sky.
Can I explain Raze as we kind of seen it?
That's very fair.
KO was definitely, when Split was definitely the map, KO was definitely a necessary, evil that needed to happen. No Sage.
We have Neon, no Brim, no Breach. And then the other side has a Brim, Breach, no Neon.
Yeah.
Astra.
Yeah, the Astra pick reminds me of the old days where Astra was picked every game, and people started to really kind of be like, okay, we get it. I'm kind of old at this because no one's pushing because they can't push.
Yes. This KJ, I love. Love the KJ, and I think it actually pairs well with the Neon. It gives your team a little bit of depth, as one is definitely like a sit down, maybe, if anything, move so far backwards that you're pinching. whereas E is just going to charge.
Yeah, and
charge.
E's going to have to play probably the best mechanically game of their life in terms of their just straight up aiming ability, because they're going to have no utility to kind of help them.
Oh, right out on this catwalk. Res King gets a little target practice, not going to find him before Milk finds them. Wish is just caught on the ropes, gets shut down with the knife.
Wish probably was like, why can't I go down this rope? And then you just get knifed by
Kinetic. Just ego shot. Second kill of the game. It's the knife. That's a big one. Barracudas are feeling hot and are ready to shut down these Whippersnapper alumni.
Absolutely, and going really fast right there with just the... once again, it's kind of that rushing mentality that we've seen from Barracudas, and just how they've kind of adapted to the situation in terms of, hey, we're going to rush the site and see if it works. And, of course, that kind of lurking, getting that knife kill, which is pretty funny.
Lurking knife kill, a good time. I'm surprised Avian charged straight out onto the wire without checking the side, and everyone else trusted him. So could have been a clean first shot by our man down on the site, but couldn't quite find it. Instead goes down fast. It's going to be switched to B now, who we know was very, very aggressive last time. So they get a pretty quick contact there. Playing a little bit further on to B. E is sitting back with a shorty in a strange position. I mean, if Avian can't find it here, oh, he does get it. I was going to say when the pressure's
right,
really
though. I think,
on B.
almost at the flick. That would have been a crazy shot. Wishes gets one. Kinetic gets the other one. 4v2 now.
Corporal playing forward, finds a
great
nice
shot,
one.
though.
Got to keep it moving. Got to keep that momentum up. Switches to the
Did
Stinger.
take some damage, though. Oh, Wishes gets a right click on the Prestige there.
Spike planted.
And now it's a 2v2, but once again, Corkles has 50 HP, so they definitely have a health advantage.
That Spike's already down. They're waiting for a tap here.
Milk only has a Sheriff, though.
Yeah, Kinetic kind of has to play forward, take some people out. That dog's not going to find it.
It's going to go down soon.
It's going to go down very soon. He has util out. That Boombot's a good call. Gives it nothing, some info, so he can flash back towards it. Too much time on screen. Wishes takes one.
Yeah, I would say way too many shots there for them to be able to stay alive after that. And I do think if Kinetic gets that kill, they win the round, just because Corkles is so low.
First time we've seen a 1-1 today.
Yeah, yeah, 1-1. Yeah, in terms of actual 1-1, yes, that is true. Usually it's later in the game that we see the 1-1. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 1-1 there, and you know, got a lot of kills of just like maybe fooling around a little too much. We saw a lot of right-click kills, the classics, getting a lot of damage here. Couldn't miss a lot of shots on Wishes there. Wishes gets the kill, and just like that, I mean, Mammoths win the second round, so I mean that's a pretty big round from them.
It definitely has a show match mindset to it.
Yeah. And split nonetheless. I saw a lot of just like Sheriff buys there from Barracudas as well, where they weren't buying those Spectres, so it's definitely one of those things where your teammates are probably like, why didn't you buy? Always happens, but we'll see here. And the Reskin, yeah.
Waiting for this charge. He's going to get rid of the breach in the KJ by simply not being there. 2 up top. You get first sight. Takes care of the dog. Make sure it doesn't find a teammate. Does give away where you are, which is the most beautiful thing about that ledge. So they're going to turn onto him, but he finds it anyways. Good crossfire. Gets him the second shot. Avian in a beautiful position to just shut this down. A whole lot of jump around, though, and they bring it to a flawless.
Yeah, got flash as it was happening, so he knew that E was like close to them, but just couldn't really react to that at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely hopping.
Yeah, I mean that's a fun thing to do on Neon, just kind of running around people, and especially when you know they're reloading and then flash, you can just kind of have fun, I guess, trolling with them. That's exactly what just kind of happened there. We saw E just kind of running on corner, he gets flashed, and the next thing you know, he has like no idea where they are. I thought he was going to knife him, honestly, but I guess was like, okay, can't do that just yet here. But Mammoths take the lead 2-1, but Barracudas should have it by now. So I think after losing that second round there for them, they're probably like, hey, we are not going to let that happen again.
No.
And whoever wants to kind of get the smoke there on from Mammoths, they can keep picking that corner. Avian bought it off.
Corkles, beautiful positioning, got smoked out, can't close the deal there. So it has to move off a little bit. Barracuda's getting that plant in. Mammoths on their way, but their KJ is so far off the site. It is a trek. And this is back before mobility was a big thought. You know, it's hard to traverse from A to B on this map in particular.
Absolutely. They do have the KO ult for the retake, but I don't know if they actually want to fully commit that because they know they don't have the guns to do so. There's a great pop flash. Get on the corner. Actually gets him through the flash there from Milk.
KJ has finally made it to the game, but it's going to be a reverse ace clutch on low time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a saving.
They're not feeling it. They're going to set up to super save here, make sure nobody hits them from any direction.
Super save.
Yeah, oh yeah. Where you dump utility into the save.
Oh, I see.
You're like going all in for one gun.
He has the alarm bot. And the thing is, they can't get it back because they had to pull it back a while ago. I think it takes like 15 seconds after you pull it back to get it back after the round. Kind of like doing a little warm-up. And spawn, it's now 2-2. It is really weird seeing this map once again. Haven't seen this map in so long. I'd be interested to see that next time they add a map, either like, you know, next act or next episode, to see kind of if they end up bringing back Split into the pool and kind of taking some out. I would guess so, but we'll see when that happens.
I'd like it. Made me sad when they pulled Split out of the pool.
I was fine with it. I hate Split. I'm gonna be honest. I hate playing Split. Watching it, sure, but Split is a map that I feel like it's either a 13-6 or it's like an overtime craziest game of your life.
Right.
Here we go, E. Here's the dog going through, but is gonna hit Cabin instead. TP's out. Here comes the showstopper from Kinetic. Goes across. Yeah, they knew he was there. Prestige gets 2 there. Well, gets the down. And they just take over the site instantly.
Wishes.
Spike planted.
Wishes takes Kinetic just because Kinetic was trying to push through a good defense smoke.
Yeah,
so
that's a really risky one to push through. That's a show match kind of push where it's like, I'm going for more.
Yeah, hungry for that space.
Yeah, exactly.
Decides to take a high risk. Not going to find it. Rezkin going to throw the little bot out. Gets absolutely shut down. The bot doesn't do a whole lot against an op.
Yeah, because the op actually one-shots it. Oh, does it dink them to the wall there?
Yeah,
gets the kill.
Wishes. Wishes feeling good. Has the chance for a 5K here if it weren't for Rezkin.
Yeah, I mean, Rezkin definitely, there was the ideal was them to kill him there because Wishes is 30 HP and gets an op, so.
Yeah, and is trying to take that. So, and Rezkin has fought for that tower. They were up there a while.
Yep, and now it's a 3-2 here.
It's a 3-2, but we stopped at 2-2, which means we're doing, you know, one here, one there, one here, one there.
Should I play some stars
so
in this reality?
Maybe this isn't the 13-6 game you were talking about. Maybe it's going to be the overtime all-night game.
Exactly. And you know, it's just so weird because they have such different comps here, so we're gonna see a lot of different styles being used.
That should work.
Very much so, and on either half too. We could see things really upset at the half. So Spike in pocket as we see a little bit of a feel on to B here. E kind of pokes around, makes a little bit of contact. Gonna shift over slightly to this mid push, but Wishes, a good controller mindset for it, is gonna back right up and instead drop util. Right, let him take the space, but not for free.
Corkles has an op sitting there and drop.
Biggest cheese.
Yeah, good divide there. Oh, yeah, did not check the right side there. Avian jumped down at the just right time. That was a good idea. Corkles once again with this op. I don't know what you're going to do with this playing KO, but we're going to see what they're going to do.
The melee
yeah,
op
and that's
mindset
exactly what
doesn't even get to take it out of the pocket. Now guess who has an op? Kinetic.
Spike planted.
I don't know if he picked it up, though, probably.
He's probably not feeling it.
The ult goes down, Rezkin. And just like that 3-3 there. Barracudas. Yeah, so he's like, no. It's one of those things where maybe someone was like, yo, give me the op. And he's like, no. He's like, hey, you're 0 for 2 with the op. Hey, you're gone.
Yep.
Nope.
Nobody gets it.
I definitely do that in ranked. I'm not going to lie. I'm that guy. I'm that guy where I'm like, hey, you've missed last like 2 shots, so we're not giving it to him.
Like, hey, you know what? Do what you want with your credits, but I'm not going to give up 3 of mine to give you 5.
Exactly. And now it's 33, and it's actually pretty balanced here. We do have the orbital strike and the Seekers out from the sky here for the Barracudas, so I'd like to see kind of maybe something being used from their end with this ult. Could be a push with them ulting into heaven, but we'll kind of see how they end up using that.
I will say one downside to a show match is that you don't get synergized utility as much. It's just not in the mindset of the game, right? You're trying to show off, you're trying to do maybe pull some crazy things. So really deliberate utility for the team is a little bit harder to come by.
Absolutely.
But Cabin in a beautiful position to just shut this round down.
Shoot the smoke. Good try there. I mean,
off.
I like the spray through. I always think it's kind of good to spray through smokes.
It's a low risk play.
Yeah, exactly.
To spray through smoke and then TP off.
Placing sentry.
It's fair. Wishes in a nice position here to see something. Is going to drop a little bit.
Oh, great job. Oh, we got the smoke.
Nice.
Wow.
Headshot through the air. Going to punish that aggression.
Definitely going to feel bad because he's like, oh, I should have concussed there instead of the smoke, but we'll see. Cabin.
Rezkin staring in the eyes of a very good default smoke.
Good timing.
Cabin to take one, kind of has to play through this wall. Not a lot of options. Not a lot of options, but to reload.
Oh, great shot for Siege there.
Coming to the assist, but right through the wall.
Good try there, but good retake here from Mammoths. And
Rezkin's doing good.
yeah, I mean, I think they're just doing a great job of retaking as a team at the moment. Mammoths seem to, at least this alumni team, really kind of communicating what they want to achieve here in terms of, hey, don't just go in there one by one. We're going to take each kind of corner by itself and then push together, and I think that's what's really kind of being the difference right now. We have 4 ults for Barracudas, though. We have 3 ults away from Mammoths. They do have the KJ ult for the retake if they choose to do so. 2 to 4 is tough as well, but they have 4 ults for Barracudas. So if they want to, they can hold the Brimstone ult for the KJ ult and then just ult that back for kind of the counteract it. But a lot of ults, I mean, double initiator ult as well, I think is something to note, you know, to say.
Yeah, it can definitely change the
Thunder
pace.
being held out at Prestige.
Off your feet!
Yep, and that means Cabin's going to be kind of useless without that spot there.
Yeah, so they're gonna take that
playing really
pretty
aggressive
easily.
though. Great shot.
Nice.
Initiated.
Yep,
Fine
there it
as
is. I'd be careful. I would be willing to see maybe if they're do the Brimstone ult, but it's a little too far away from them. They can actually just kind of move off this. Oh, the hand in with utility. We've seen that one too many times.
Go, go, go.
2 actually end up being attained though. Avian might get knifed here. Oh.
Oh.
Get shorty.
Get shorty.
Spike planted. Obscuring vision.
Looking for a high-paced move back onto the site here.
One
Eco
enemy
sliding into a free kill. This next one's
player
just a
standing.
2v1.
Oh, Atlas, great play there. Gets the 2 of them.
Nice.
4v4 clutch, and this, they're just going back and forth right now.
They really are. They still have gone back and forth and back and forth. Mammoth's always, you know, technically half a point ahead, if you count it that way. Right? Because it's a back and forth, but Mammoths always find the first one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're
so,
the fourth.
In my head, it was one of those things where it's like, what is he saying? No, that
Right.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so if it comes down to it, it's going to be an overtime where the Barracudas are kind
Yeah.
of playing catch-up. But we could see an upset pretty easily. I mean, we just saw a crazy play right here.
Yeah, I would love to
Clutched it
see the
down.
rest of the Barracudas use their ults. I think the Seeker's been up for a bit, and the Orbital Strike's been up for a bit. So I'd like to see both those ults be kind of used and have it more than used for once per half. Because now they can probably get another one up by the same end of half.
Right, you don't want to be throwing away ult points when you could get that upper half.
Yeah, and I think it feels pretty bad to ult once per half as well. Okay, Oracle's the flash, smokes out, not getting anything through. Gets a little bit of damage onto him, but not too much. Connect gets a kill. Ooh, wow. Great trade there from Corkles.
Yeah, sees another one. Prestige not really feeling that push. Is going to go back down with his teammates where they're going to find Rezkin. Excellent positioning to take 2 for
Spike
free.
down
That's a
A.
double spike down.
And, you know, you almost want to say, like, hey, you know, he's played there basically every round at this point
He
in the
has.
back of sight. So I think you'd want to definitely use some util or something to check that
One
corner.
enemy
And even when the
remaining.
rest of the team rotates off to B, he likes to hang there for a little bit more. Like
But
I
hey,
talked
it's
about at
paying
the
off.
start.
It's paying
It
off.
really is. And they're not punishing it. And until they do punish that,
Exactly.
it's going to keep getting, you know, free 2Ks that put him in this position where Prestige has to just play crazy. And he's dumped the utility to try to get something out of here. They're going to play forward, and he shuts it down right down the hallway.
I'd be pretty scared messing around against Prestige here, though. Okay, I was say, I mean, you can probably the one person who can get it done, but 4K there from Rezkin,
Yes.
and it's now 5-4. I think if you're Barracudas, though, it really depends on how you are on this map. Because, I mean, sometimes teams are attack-sided, sometimes teams are defensive-sided. I mean, we've seen teams, I mean, at the highest level be attack-sided, and sometimes a little defensive-sided. So.
And if you're not comfortable with that, I mean, I like to say this is an old map, so people have known it for a while. But you're right. Things kind of shake up.
They haven't played it for a while, too.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to be honest. If I was training for comp, I'm not going to train something that's out of the comp pool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not. Yeah, I like it's a lot of people like me, for example. I forgot this map. You know,
was available. Yeah, I don't know the callouts anymore. So.
Yep, here we go. And we're going to see 5-4. There's a lot of ults for Barracuda still, though. And it's only the 10th round.
Mm-hmm.
Just pointing that out there. You know, that's all. Wishes could be holding this down. Make sure nothing happens. E looking for some kills with the Guardian. Not finding anything so far. Avian does have the Tour de Force out, though. Oh, Prestige, they're right on the corner, but all he has is a classic, but they're not looking. Oh, okay. That's great. That's why.
Prestige looking to play forward here. Loses the pacing on that utility.
Avian can pick on the wishes on A site, though.
That ult is out, but low health. Just going to be feeling a little bit more defensive with it, trying to stand behind E, kind of play off the contact instead.
Oh, great flash. Kinetic is playing kind of on the other side, though, by holding him onto A site. Cabin gets pushed off. Alice going to pick onto E. We did see Great use of utility here from the Barracudas. Do you have 3 ults still available? Oh, and Avian holding a close corner. That's a great shot.
Yeah, good reposition. Kevin thought that was his space.
Headshot.
Avian, yeah, has 3K, now 1 left. And they're going to make their way onto the site anyway. It's starting to push right in here. It is 2 people, and one of them is an ult op.
Wants it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, saw the arm. Switched to the sidearm and couldn't close Forkless to get that pick. Finds
Pretty sure
one.
Kinetic got a shorty. You see the animation where it's like putting the two bullets in.
Yep.
360 by Corkles looks for it and has his knife out. Yep.
Yep. Milk up top took that one.
I don't know if they live here. Yeah, Milk is just sitting there. He's like, all right, except
hanging out.
He stays alive though.
Yeah, this is the Guardian.
5-5. Still have those 2 ults available that we've seen.
Yep. History says this is Mammoth's turn to take a win. Barracudas would love to approach the half with anything up here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think if you're either team, if you want to get this round at least, then you get that 6-6 at the very minimal. But we're going to see kind of how that ends up going. We'll see, though. Not too much posture being used. Barracudas have been kind of, they had an interesting default there where Kinetic was kind of on the other side to keep them honest. Oh, and once again, I want to say that they are 0 for 3 on that peak right there. They have died every single time for that.
That's very true.
And I told you, whoever wants smoke is going to go right there and die instantly.
Yes, and Corkless was just feeling hot. He had a crazy last round, so he wants to get, first bloods, keep it moving, but that's just not the way to do it.
Unfortunately, people peek in that corner every time.
Cabin taking a thin
Avian
angle.
is the king of this angle right now.
Yeah, Avian shutting that one down.
Wish
has found a wild Kinetic in the open there.
Right in the grass. Redskin in a beautiful spot just in case I'm going to come down this way. Sure enough. Oh, no. The hunt is complete. Barracudas find that 6th point. I can't really call that a momentum upset.
Round in the half.
Yeah, because, I mean, Barracudas, I think, won the last 2.
Yep. Yeah, so 2 in a row. It's been win-loss the whole time. So this, it feels good, but they're not going to find a free kill on that close B angle. Mammoths are definitely feeling a lot more back of house, as none of their angles are seeing the gates directly.
And just like that, 6-5. I mean, obviously Barracudas won't take this last one, but they have 3 ults from Mammoths as well that are pretty useful for that retake option. So definitely going to be on the lookout for that. And Avian is just full on sprinting.
He is walking right through. Even walks into an ult to take a little bit of damage.
His teammate's ult doesn't do as much damage. I think that's a good play there. Oh, God, a lot of damage there.
He just wants his comfort angle.
Yeah, this is Avian's angle at the moment. He's like, hey, I've practiced this one. Maybe he's just been doing that as practice for a while now. He's like, oh, I love split.
Stairs. Split stairs go crazy. Still just hanging out up there while most of the rest of the team is moving up into A. Come out from this heaven drop soon.
Wishes goes down 4v2.
Spike planted.
They do have the Seekers available. I don't know if he's going to use them, though.
We've not seen them used at all yet, though.
No, not once.
You're past the point where you can get a second one.
Absolutely.
It'd be nice, though. Bring it to a 5-7. Really know exactly where they are. I feel like this would be a free spot to use it.
Kevin, get ready to peek here. Ooh, sees Atlas, but
yeah, Prestige is
Atlas knows
they can't push very far, or Atlas takes a free one. Sure enough, that ult comes, or not ult, but util comes out. Kinetic on that assist is able to find the other 2, and it's a 5-7 for Barracudas. Now we don't know what this second half is going to feel like.
That's true.
Really
I think the one-to-one kind of said it where it's it's going to be a 2-0 right here. I think whoever wins this first one's going the second one.
Okay.
In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
We'll see what ends up happening.
It's interesting because I don't know who has an interesting, hidden in the pocket practice. Like Avian with that angle, if that had been in the second half, we never would have seen that coming, right?
That's true.
So someone could have their own little cheap
Avian
spot,
angle. They could have their own Avian angle.
Their own Avian angle, where they just charge there and get a free kill or 2. I could see.
I'd love to see it.
Happening.
I'd love to see it.
I'd love to see it.
That's all I'm saying.
Somebody really better stand up and do something funny.
This is a circus.
I just want to see an Avian angle.
Blocking vision.
Coming right out into this first one.
Oh, with some damage through.
Yeah, they're feeling high pace. It's the pistol round. It's an even game you basically just got here. May as well charge on in. So here they are, A site. They got a man to clear it all the way out.
Milk hits one.
Spike has hit site grounds. They can plant whenever they're ready. Barracudas are closing on in. Checks the good angle, but he finds it anyways. Reskin.
Found the headshot right away. Oh, but Avian, once again, surprise. Yeah, Prestige, though, checking all the angles. Yeah. They're getting a lot of space here, but they're all 3 back at the site. It doesn't have a flash.
One enemy remaining.
Decided to not use it after like 2 or 3 times. I honestly in the same way there because like, do I flash my team? But I don't want to flash my team because the team's pushing. So I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, it's the pacing thing where if that's your territory, you don't need to be flashing into it. You're just trying to clear out the last little, person hanging out.
They
but if you've done it a little bit earlier,
if they'd have peeked, then Prestige would have died for sure.
And gun difference there, right? If you're standing there with the frenzy ready, you have that in the bag. But if you're standing there with utility out, it doesn't matter what you're going against.
That's true.
So he has to be careful about how he approaches this. So I understand the hesitance, but he got it out in the end anyways. Avian feeling really good about those tight angles.
That's the Avian angle.
Avian angle.
We can use that term now.
This nice little like
Avian angle.
jog where you just...
if they're playing a really close angle, that's just crazy. Avian angle. Here we go. Prestige. Gonna be
the man to hold down mid.
Ooh, has a flash.
Finally got to use that flash that he wanted to use. Not gonna see much. Avian
gets
right out of there.
The judge. Barracuda's pulling out all the stops on this defense here. They have 2 of them actually. Kinetic has 1 as well.
Which makes it a little bit hard to push onto B when people have a good angle on Heaven. So they have to go up mid if they want those judges to work on B. So
Absolutely.
The team here that is waiting for that push to be successful, it's just vibing. They're just vibing back here, waiting for the clock. While this Heaven push needs to be successful, unfortunately, Kinetic is going to take one there. Second. Yeah, those judges paying off the push.
We've gotten all kills through judges. If they get the last kill with the judge, it is every kill of this round with the judge. Yep.
Wow.
3 with Kinetic and 2 for Avian.
That's judge
a
round.
Flawless judge. 9-5 for Barracudas. Do you keep leading at this point?
Judge meta era.
Well, I mean, Split was always kind of that spot where you could use it for sure. We've seen it use it. I mean, Old Boys State used to use that too, actually.
We've definitely seen Stinger meta have its way with this map.
But now it's time for the judge. And here we go. It is now 9-5, and it seems like Barracuda's on a roll. I called the 2-0, by the way. I just want to let you know that. Just saying.
It's true.
It's going to be reversed of what we're usually down. So now it's time for the Barracudas to basically win the half with like a 6-0 streak. That's my prediction. Ooh, getting close.
Yeah, a little bit of utility in that strange
Shot
angle.
the trap.
But that's the Spike. Spike is in the Duelist hands at the very front. Love to see that in an initiator. Meanwhile, up in the Avian corridors cabin.
Prestige knows there's players here, but he's 22 HP.
Yeah, not comfortable. Wish is in cabin, really on top of this angle. Little crossfire action going up. Wish is doing so much work with it. That's the catalyst they strike to make their way in. Cabin going to be the cross angle to find Avian there, guaranteed. E gets the plant down. Support's coming in. We're going to see these two make their way through mid, up to Avian's little castle up top. Unfortunately, it's not there. Kinetic
player standing
on their way in, doesn't find it, gets a good trade. Cabin going to be the one to get it. Milk, last one on the board. Oh, almost finds E.
That's so frustrating because, I mean, it's like, you know, at that point, you're just, when you miss those first 4 shots, you're just like, I don't want to try anymore.
People act like Neon Knife is Yoru ult.
They can, yeah. I mean, you're moving faster,
right?
technically.
You can't do anything when you have the knife out and you're left to just looking at the ground and bunny hopping, but you just get to kind of vibe.
It's kind of like the wave dashing back and forth. I mean, it's kind of hard to hit him. But it is now 9-6 there. Barracudas did lose their kind of streak. I think they had a 3-round streak, I believe it was. I think it was 3-0. But now it is time for the full guns for both teams. Barracudas now have the fully lined up guns with all the Phantoms and Vandals, whereas before they kind of had those judges. So big round for Mammoths to win, I think, if they want to get stay in the game, I should say. Not get into the game, stay into the game. There's a Neon going through. Just keeps running. Almost gets the kill, but Milk gets one, goes 1 for 1. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. They were right.
They were not happy with Kinetic.
They were ready for him.
That's a guaranteed kill. Out from a distance, takes a nice one. Little action from Wishes here. He wants it to happen.
He just wants to
molly him out. That's a good call. A just crosshair to get the one on the outside of the molly.
One enemy
Very,
remaining.
very typical call there. Able to take a nice little advancement.
Yep. Just like I said, there's Barracudas winning that round. They now have the guns as well, so.
Yeah, guns as well as Econ off the win. 3 people survived. They've got the ultimate for an op, and now they have that double-digit pressure. So Barracudas are definitely looking like they have the upper hand here.
Yes, indeed. And it's now going to be that 10-6, and I think the Barracudas will keep kind of pulling ahead here. Unless, you know, Mammoths can kind of go on a spurt there. We saw that the first half that they did exactly that. So unless they have some, I guess like you said, they have a little bit more of things in their sleeves or something like that. Or as you kind of remember the map as well, where it's like, okay, well, what are attacks that we used to do or things like that.
Or just figuring things out.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to sometimes play a map. I mean, it's like playing a new map kind of thing, like, you know, playing Pearl. You know, that's kind of a good example, you could say. He is also just kind of going straight in there. Like I said, the Neon with no initiators, or with no, like, breach, I should clarify, is way harder.
Dry Neon.
And just like that, Avian playing the corner, TP's away. Oh, actually just didn't TP away. I think their TP might have got destroyed, but Alice trades regardless. Now 4v3, still up a member.
Molly.
Good Molly. They have the spike down, too, so they are... Time for them to just hold this main. Have Astro Wall, though, to help get that back if they really want to, but I don't know if they actually want to commit that or not. Nades that corner, see if they can get anything going from Torkles.
Yeah, it's a stacked angle here. It's difficult to get a decent crossfire without letting them get through that hallway. And having them run the gauntlet through the hallway in front of that stacked angle, that's kind of what the game comes down to. So Korkle's a good lead to find one of them. Kinetic now is able to play forward. Wow, absolute overkill onto the spike now. Just has to defend that area. Going to start off with a Boombot to do it with. Redskin, not one for peeking, is just going to hang out. Wait for them to get the ham.
Kinetic still has the judge, by the way.
Yeah,
and they finish off the classic. Kinetic could have definitely... Okay, now they upgrade guns. So they could have upgraded guns, but they were staying with the judge. And it's now 11-6. Ult economy for Mammoths is actually quite high. I could see definitely A or B push with the KJ ult being used to kind of get that space for them. We'll see what they end up doing. They're all kind of pushed toward that A side. I guess even going to the little corner of A, ulting it, getting the space that they need to, and then going on the site here. Definitely kind of a bread and butter kind of thing. They don't have an orbital strike either, so it's not like I can just get rid of it right away. Kind of can nade it though.
You want to play? Let's play.
Oh, wow. Oh, getting one there in that scenario, I think, is going to be something. I think that's going to be something they could use.
Plus info. I mean, look at the Barracuda's rotation here.
Yeah.
They're swarming that spot. If anybody had an orbital strike, game would be over.
That would have been insane.
That would have been huge.
It would have been like a 4-man concuss. Oh, Avian gets a kill on the flank.
Oh, wait. We saw him just absolutely overkill with that showstopper, didn't we? He could have saved it until that round and gone crazy.
Yeah, but then they might have not won last round.
Oh.
You never know. You never know.
And if he still had it, they maybe didn't stack. That's fair.
I'm of the opinion that you should just use the ult all the time.
That's fair.
He got his one somehow. He mind controlled him there, I swear. But it's now 5-5 in terms of members, but it is now 6-12. And I would say I kind of called that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I like the ult on cooldown mindset.
I think it's good.
Red Hots has his keyboard macroed, so it's constantly pressing X.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like every time you push talk, it just sits there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always ready to go. But now it is the game point there for Barracudas. Let's see if they can kind of finish them off, I believe. Oh, there's the KO ult coming in. The Astro Wall is coming down as well. That great divide coming in hot. Atlas getting ready for his spot. Gets one. I like that play from Atlas. Very good discipline.
Rotating
Gets one.
around, looking for another. They're kind of pinching on him here, so he's got to...
Oh, yeah. Smith could get there in time because they were the wall off there. 3v3, though. And Prestige and Kinetic are alive, so these are big two kind of playmakers here.
You should run. Spike down.
Milk gets a pick onto Cabin.
Yeah, which drops the spike.
Oh.
Attackers are looking to take this area, but...
Good ult there from KJ, though. Oh, and Milk was staying in the zone there to make sure I could trade. What a crazy play on Milk there. Staying in the zone to make it happen. But, of course, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, or game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land to collegiate scholarship. And, of course, now we're landing onto the ICCU player of the game discussion. think my first nominee, is obvious. Prestige.
I'm going to give my first nominee, Rezkin.
Rezkin, okay.
Yeah.
I definitely had some good games. I don't know if my third one would be. I think those two definitely kind of stood out today. I think, like I said, Prestige having that one game. Avian had a couple good plays. I think the start of this game did a great job.
Avian or Kinetic. Milk?
Yeah, yes and no.
I want to give points for improvement, which
that's fair.
Kick Prestige and Kinetic right off of my pick list. So Milk, Rezkin, and Avian impressed me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think the other two, it's blanking. I blank on the names all the time because, a lot of them kind of go in and out here.
Yeah, we end up saying the character names instead of the player names.
Mm-hmm. E had a couple good plays out there, but I think, E definitely was kind of memeing a little bit. You could tell they were kind of going a little too crazy in the neon.
It's a show match.
There's a lot of different satchel pack incidents as well.
You've seen E do some clever things with that too. Or, just playing a little bit too forward, getting, greedy with the space.
Yeah, that's kind of my, I would say, overall goal for, player of the game. I don't know. Like I said, production always has it in store for us. We never know where to get here. Yeah, like you said, Rezkin 3D, or 3K, not 3D.
Rezkin, now with Technovision.
Yeah, had some great plays on the bind map. I mean, unfortunately, I guess kind of how it unfolded for the score aspect, but Rezkin definitely kind of held it down on some of this. Had a lot of good moments too. Had that, that ace had a good 4K the last game on Split. So overall, the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Rezkin 3K is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. It's like you said, they had some improved play. Had some great tries there. I think this moment here where they get a couple kills with the KJ. Did a great job there. We see some great players every week in the Rumble, so, just kind of picking one out of many. That is always kind of the impossible task to do, as I always kind of see it. It's always kind of hard to get that one player in because, sometimes it's always the one over and over again. Any final thoughts, though, before we kind of take it away here?
Thought it was a good match. It was exactly what I was looking for as far as doing something fun or interesting or taking a different spin on it. We saw some interesting compositions and a map we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, so we saw a Split. Yeah. But congratulations to all our teams on the excellent night of Valorant. The Barracudas come out on top in the top 3 show matches. Not even the alumni were enough to slow them down. Make sure to join us next Monday at 6 p.m. EST for more Valorant Rumble action. We'll close out with the top 5 presented by the Idaho and Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering a $20K bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night.
Nice.
Well, today I learned.
Yeah.